Siri, start a walk.
I'm here.
Start a walk.
Starting your workout in workout.
Internet people. Alright. God, it's cold this morning. Okay. I'm gonna get killed by a dog. See the doggy? He's an indoor dog. Never see him except when they take him out for a walk. Alright, so what is today, actually? Today is Monday, February the 21st. Yeah. Kind of slept in a little bit today, but get some better light this morning at the very least, I guess, right? I suppose that'll be my days off, right? So the days I can't do the walk because of the weather or what, because it's raining or something. I think what I'll do is I'll have some, because I've got a lot of book reviews that I can like queue up, because there are going to be like days that I want to like take days off, right? So I need some like filler content, and I think I've got more. I read more than one book a week usually, so I think that'll be, that'll be fine, right? Like I could do. I have some book reports hiding in my back pocket. What is going on here? They're like burning something here. I don't remember them being out here. Just so you can see this. It's like this burn bin. I don't remember them. Well, maybe they did something at service, after service or something. Some type of get together or something. I don't know. Don't know. Yeah. Very strange. I'm not exactly, so I could see this is going to be an ongoing problem, is not exactly sure what the topic should be today. And I've been trying to put at least a little bit of effort, or like put a little bit of effort into like figuring out how I'm going to structure the video or whatever. I don't think I've been doing that good of a job, but that's part of the reason why I'm just doing this every day, because I don't expect them to be good. I expect for everything to be crap, and that I will, I'll get practicing. I'll get used to holding the camera, and being self-conscious about it, and get better at speaking too. Speaking to the camera. I will get more confident in that, and yeah. So that's that's why we're just going for volume, especially like right out of the gate. I don't expect anybody to really be watching these per se, but if anybody finds it useful, then they find it useful. But I will do some things that I think are hopefully useful, is the book reports. I think the book review, book reports, I don't know, I gotta decide on a name, is I think that's going to be like every Sunday, and then like I said, it's going to be filler content also, and I'll probably just film those like indoors, because I'm not going to just go out here and walk around the the parking lot just randomly to make another an extra video for the day. And there are some other things, other reviews and stuff. So like some fairly large ticket items that I've bought over the past year that I've been meaning to do a review of. Maybe those will be content as well. Just that's the thing. I'm like, I'm in that phase where I've got to figure everything out, you know, and I don't even know everything, all the decisions that I've got to make yet. I've just got to make them as they come in, and then tweak as I go. But yeah. So, but like I said, no idea what I'm talking about. I do think that I want to try and get the time down to like 10 or 15 minutes. So maybe today will be my first day actually getting that done. But we'll see. Yeah. So kind of a foreshadowing's the word. I don't know if foreshadowing's the word, but I just finished a book last night. Okay, yeah. So I could rant about this. I finished a book last night. So you know, I've been at the house for a year. I had like half my stuff like. So when I lived with mom and dad, I was like I had all my stuff like all in one room, right? So I really couldn't get to anything, except for the very most common stuff. So part of that was like my book collection was just it's like stuffed up in the closet or whatever, and. When I moved out and I moved over here, I got like a bookshelf and everything, and I moved everything, and I just got everything on the bookshelf, and I didn't organize it or anything. But as I've started doing the reading, I've started going through my book collection and organizing everything, and I noticed probably about 10 or 15% of it is like stuff that I got that was it's probably about 10% of it is like textbook from school, right? That I keep them around, but I don't know that I'll ever really need them again. It's just some of those books. I could probably do some stories about some of those books. Some of those books, like my physics books, I remember. When I was packing up to move over here, I was like, oh, hey, mom and dad, check this out. You see this book? This is the thing that destroyed my physics career. It's a book that was notoriously, at least notoriously to me, difficult, and that pretty much pretty much turned me off of physics finally. I could no longer say, well, I took one of the reasons why I went into physics was like, okay, well, I could take a bunch of different degrees, and a lot of them will be useful, but which ones would be the most useful? And I was interested in physics, like popular physics at the time, so I have like a bunch of Brian Greene novels and stuff like that. So I was kind of interested. like the conceptual, at least the conceptual side of physics. But I got to the point where I was like, I need to know how to do the math and stuff for me to be able to understand this better. So anyway, ended up studying physics in university, and part of the reasons why I did that is because it was hard. I knew it was going to be a struggle for me to do it because it is challenging. Like I could have gone like into information science or computer science, and I would have made straight A's. Would have been no problem. But I took physics because I knew that it would challenge me, and it did. boy did it. And I don't regret making that choice, but it is the reason why I don't have a degree now, is because I didn't take the easy option, you know. And well, it's one of the reasons why. The other reason is I'm a lazy bum and I couldn't be bothered to do my assignments or whatever. But yeah, I just didn't take it seriously enough. And anyway, yeah, so I'm going through the books, right? And about 10% of it are textbooks, and another like 10, maybe 15% are like random books that got assigned by the English, basically by the English department, either for English composition or creative writing or whatever it is. Or maybe some of them were from some of them are philosophical tests. So I did take philosophy, and I like that subject. But a lot of them were from a lot of these just extraneous random books were from reading assignments for the required English classes, the required reading, and I only read like maybe one or two because I was just bullshitting my way through. But I was like, oh well, you know, okay. The few that I read, I hated. I did not like any other, and that was like a common theme for me. Is like I didn't hate reading or writing in school. I hated what they made me read and write in school. It was so bad, you know. It was like the most random, terrible recommendations and stuff that they give. I think it was only ever good was like maybe early high school or something. They had this the English recommendation. So you had like Edgar Allan Poe, love Edgar Allan Poe, and a couple other. Mike, they should just be especially early on, unless you get like into like upper level English major, English literature or something like that. They shouldn't be recommending these horrible, terrible books to people to trudge through, like Canterbury Tales. We spent an entire semester memorizing this damn, what is it, the Canterbury Tales thing or whatever. How is that useful to anybody in their time? Like basically it was like a rite of passage for school. Was you had to learn this Canterbury, you had this like rhythm that you would, all the strategies that students picked up to try and memorize it, and we'd spend time in class memorizing it, and such a huge waste of time. And just to memorize this it wasn't even a poem. I don't think it was just we made it into a poem or something. I don't know. Maybe it was a poem. That's why it had the rhythm or whatever. But anyway, it some of my classmates, my friends or whatever, can still recite that to this day. But that's just happenstance as far as I'm concerned. Like there's no reason for you to have for you to still remember that, because you haven't used that knowledge at all in your entire life, unless you went on to study old English literature or something, you have no reason to ever read that again, or have to have even retained that memory. But yeah. So I have like these books that are just laying around, and I'm like, okay, maybe I'm salty, you know. Maybe I'm just, you know, it's just maybe at the time it just wasn't for me, and I'll come back and I'll read these books now, and maybe I'll find some more redeeming value. Maybe I've grown as a person, and now I can appreciate these things. So I started reading them. So I have like this huge stack of books that I've already ordered that are sitting. That's my queue, and but it's mostly nonfiction. So it's like I can't just be reading facts and figures and science and, you know, all that jazz all the time. I want to, you know, broaden my palette a little bit, and, you know, get a little bit more. I wanted to, you know, read some more of the classics and stuff. You know, be properly educated, or whatever you want to call it. So I started ordering some classics. I already ordered 2, and they're like collectible versions. You'll see that when I get to the they're nice collectible hardbacks and everything. And I'll get to, when we do the review, I'll review the book binding. But because apparently there are these collectible, there are these like book collection sets or whatever that a lot of the major publishers put out that are rather nice or whatever, that different people. So I've been buying different ones from different publishers to see, you know, if there's one style or brand or whatever that I like in particular. But anyway, so I'll go through these books or whatever, these old English books, and so I'll read like whatever that I want to read, and then I'll alternate with some fiction or some of these old English comp books or whatever that were signed from English composition. And some of these books are so freaking obscure. Like, I could get them, you know, I can almost understand being, I could almost understand being assigned, you know, terrible books that are just old. Like if I had been assigned Ulysses, James Joyce, I think his name. Yeah, I could almost understand being assigned Ulysses, which is a terrible book, by the way. Of like, the only people who appreciate it are the people who have researched all of the freaking in jokes and literal references. Is one huge English lit circle jerk. That's what I get from the book. The book is terrible in and of itself. Like, I don't know, maybe a third of the way into it, and I was like, no, this is bullshit. This is a terrible book on its own. I don't know why anybody thinks that this is like the greatest novel ever written. It is terrible. And it's not even like, there's some books that I don't prefer, but I could still understand why people like it. But Ulysses is like not one of those books. It is a book that I don't understand why anybody likes it. The only people, here's the thing. The reason why I hate the book so much is because I had this idea, this projection of the type of person who would like the book, and it's not a nice person. It's a snobby person who recommends books that have no intrinsic value on on other, you know, recreational readers, just because they want to feel, I don't know, especially erudite or something. You know, it's yeah. Ulysses. Hate that book. Thing is, I will probably, because it is so terrible and so iconic, I still feel the need. I've only gotten like maybe a quarter, maybe a third of the way through it. I kind of feel like I need to finish it just so I could say, like, yeah, I've read the whole thing. I know, you know, because there could always be that one person who says, hey, you know, it only gets good until you get to like the last half or the last third. I'm like, yeah. I don't know what that says about me as a person, that I feel like I need to put myself through that punishment just to say I did it. But yeah. Oh yeah, we're going way over time. It was like, wow, it took me only 10 minutes to get started struggling, and then we just flew through the last 10 minutes. Okay, let's wrap this up. So we're walking towards the house. We're almost done here. So yeah, I'm going through these past books or whatever, and one of the books in the assignment was The Stranger by Albert Camus or something like that. It's a French book. I didn't read it in French. I read a translation of it. And it's because I was, you know, I watched a couple YouTube videos of like favorite books and stuff like that. And it came up a few times. So I was like, oh, okay, I just happened to have this on hand, so I'll move it to the top of the queue. And so I did. I finished up another nonfiction book in just, I don't know, like a day or two ago. I started on The Stranger. And I finished it last night. And I stand by my assessment that whoever organized this reading list for that English comp class is an idiot. Because I could totally get why the book was recommended. I still would not have recommended it. It's an easy read. You can get right through it, and this is going to turn into a book report. I don't want to go into it, but I did not like the book. I will do a review at some point, but I did not like the book. And in fact, I could understand why at one point it was a very influential book, or what it is, an influential book. I don't know why anybody would read it nowadays, except for angsty teenagers or angsty English lit majors. So it's so yeah. That has been my rant for the day. Yeah, we're a little bit shorter today, but we're trying to get it shorter. But thanks for coming along, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.